1, go. And we're back here on the Stogie Geek Show with our special segment, which I'll let Will introduce because it was Will's brainchild.
Okay. When I joined this show, actually, I've always been a fan of the show. And one thing that I remembered hearing on old shows was Mark Jr.'s notion. Mark Jr., I believe, is the one that came up with this term,
Yes.
the bell of the ball.
He's got a
It kind of
trademark
just
on
started sticking in my mind because it's such a great concept. Mark Jr., why don't you give us the definition of the bell of the ball?
The bell of the ball is the best vitola of a line.
Oh, I want to see this one. Oh my God!
What?
Holy
Can't be doing
moly!
that during the show.
Go ahead.
So,
Very distracting.
yeah, so it's this best vitola of a line that kind of stands out. So Paul and I actually were talking a little today, and we're going to make this more of a part of the show right now. Where in addition to our Stogie Geeks rating now, if we identify a bell of the ball, we will now identify that in the rating going forward.
So you'll be able to go to the website, click on a category of Bell of the Ball, and see our Bells of the Ball. That sounds really bad, but
website's doing it.
How many balls you got?
No other website is showing their Bells of the Ball.
No one else is doing it. That's right.
Or the balls of the bell?
That's exclusive to Stogie Geeks. That's breaking news here.
Ooh.
So I went ahead and we can certainly solicit some other blends. But I went ahead and picked 5, and it turns out that one of them we actually already talked about. But I'll kind of start in order. I started the EP Carrillo Cardinal Natural. There was a reason why I picked this, because this was, again, when I was a listener of the show, I remember you guys talking about this cigar. And it was the one, that's what got me out to really, I had smoked one from the show, but, you know, when it came out, you guys got me real excited about that cigar. So my bell of the ball for that was the Robusto. To me, the Robusto really stood out on that with that Sumatra wrapper.
The 50 ring gauge?
52.
Yeah.
Or 52?
52,
yeah.
52.
I agree. I thought that was definitely the best.
Yeah.
I think, as far as Sumatra goes, that's a really good Sumatra cigar.
Damn
Is
right.
it one of the best Sumatra cigars? I don't know. I'm not really.
aging
I don't
well.
I smoked one today that I think is a phenomenal Sumatra cigar, the 7th Kappa Especial.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, that's up there, too.
That's a really good one.
You know, I'm surprised that Ernesto, the Cardinals, he's only released 3 sizes. That I don't know. That just seems like it's a sleeping giant of a line to really have some extensions built on those Cardinal lines. They're great cigars.
I agree. I like the Robusto size, right? Now, is the Toro a thicker or the larger size up from that a thicker ring gauge?
There's a 56.
There's a 56 and a 54.
4.
I
Right.
think.
52, 54, 56. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah, 52 definitely for me, the ball. Although I don't think I've really smoked some of the other sizes, maybe 1 or 2. I don't think I've smoked the 56 ring gauge in that blend, so it's tough to
52
say.
is the way to go.
I think to say Bell of the Ball, you have to smoke the other sizes, right? But I love the 52
The
so much.
56 is nice, but the 52 is the bell of the ball.
Sometimes I rely on my fellow Stogie geeks to tell me, like, I like this size the best, and I don't necessarily tend to deviate. I take their word for it a lot of times. And that's one of the blends where I do, is I like the 52 a lot. I think it's a great cigar, the Cardinal EP Carrillo. And a lot of the other Stogie geeks will smoke the other sizes, and they're like, no, stick with the 52, so I won't go smoke some of the other ones. Basically base that off your guys' feedback, so.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we do that a lot for each other,
Well,
right?
now, in some
we
lines,
both smoke so many. We
Yeah.
all smoke so many
Yeah.
cigars that we're able
some
to.
blends like the Davidoff Nicaraguan, and everyone's saying short Corona, and that's one of the ones where I'll deviate and go smoke some of the other ones for whatever reason. Sometimes I'll pick, and it's not because I don't like the particular size that you're deeming Bell as the ball, but I want to try some of the other ones to kind of
Sure.
see.
Sure.
And I'm nitpicking about well, I wish it was a larger size because it just smokes too fast kind of thing.
Sure.
So maybe I'll try some of the bigger sizes.
Sure.
But this line, certainly, 52 is pretty much, I mean, hands down across all 4 Stogie Geeks here. That's our favorite.
For sure.
Yep.
And these you can get really reasonably priced.
Yeah.
The EP Carrillo Cardinal Naturals.
It's a great line. I just would love to see it kind of be a little more, see more with it. I don't know. Maybe
I agree. Well, it's almost like a
sleep.
It's almost like a sleeper kind of line, right? For it ranks up there with some of my, not only being this size being the belle of the ball, but in terms of regular production cigars at a good price point. This is high up on my list. If I had to create a list of 5, this would be close to the top.
Yeah.
And we've had conversations recently about a lot of the online sites that are selling sticks at the $2 to $3 range, the $4 to $5 range, and our kind of mission is to get people to branch out from that and try different things. This is one of the ones that I
think you can buy a box of 20 for like $110 or something. I've seen them as cheap as $110.
You can shop around for this kind of cigar. It's everywhere. It's at your local brick and mortars for reasonable prices, online sites, auctions. It's one of those regular productions that are just everywhere. So wherever you're buying cigars that carry EP Carrillo, you should be able to find it. And it's a home run. And I remember when Stogie Santa first smoked this blend. Before it was released, and you sat down with Ernie, and you were like, Paul, you kidding me? Like, Paul, Ernie's coming out with something that's freaking spectacular.
Oh, this was.
And what amazes me, it's not a special limited edition or something that's outrageously priced.
It is a sleeping giant. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I
and it does okay, but it doesn't do as well. I don't get it.
It should sell more, right?
It had when it came out, it had a push, and I love the Maduro too.
The Maduro needed some time. Maduro's wet.
Time, Maduro.
Yep.
Liga Privada T52.
Oh. That is the belle of the ball now. It took over the number 9.
What size? I agree with yours. So I was just going to say that, Stogie Santa. Recently, I enjoy smoking the T52 over the Liga number 9.
Oh, by far.
By far. And that wasn't always the case.
No. And I'm going to go out and go on a limb. Everyone has a different belle of the ball on that one is the Robusto.
Yes.
I agree.
I completely agree.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Skip Martin is calling in. Chris,
why
don't you add him to the
absolutely. Oh, yes. There he is. Oh, how good is this?
Will, you still there? Oh, we're going to add him to call. No, add the gray whitish button. Yeah, add to group call. There you go.
Now, where's Skip?
We can't see him. We should be able to hear him. Skip, are you there?
Wow. Boy, I got bumped for Skip.
Yeah, well, hey, guess what? If you're going to get bumped, get bumped for the right guy.
This is a Stogie Geeks expert.
All right, so this segment's going to go a little longer.
Oh,
Skip,
absolutely.
Hey, Skip, are you there? I can't hear Skip right now. I can hear Will. Will, you can hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, Skip, I don't know if you need to change your setting. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can change your settings in Skype so that your microphone is set to something where you're sending us audio. The fact that Will is on and he can hear us and we can hear him tells us our settings are okay, which admittedly sometimes isn't always the case. So we're gonna work on trying to get Skip's audio to come online. Skip, I don't know if you can hear me on Skype, but again, if you go into your settings in Skype, there's a section to select your microphone and speakers. You may need to change your microphone selection so that we can hear you. So while we try and get
let's go on to the next blend.
Skip on the line, we've pretty much unanimously agreed. Well, we have unanimously agreed that the Liga Privada T52 Robusto is the belle of the ball.
Oh yeah.
I think if you're talking number 9 or T52 across both those, I think the Robusto. I enjoy the Robusto in the Liga number 9.
I just
I actually like
the Toro.
The Toro.
And the Belly.
I'm a Toro.
The Belly.
The Belly, yeah.
The Belly in the beginning, in the early releases, the Belly is not what it used to be, but the Toro is the one by far. That's me anyway.
Ocean State Cigars, J. Grotto Reserva.
Lancero.
Lancero.
Yep, hands down.
Lancero, hands down. Hands down.
Yep.
We talked about the Oliva Serie V.
Number 4.
Number
Yeah,
4.
the number 4, hands down. This next one is going to be maybe a little controversial. I don't know. Tatuaje Selección de Cazador, the brown label.
No way.
I agree, Noea.
That's a slightly muddier water though, because to me the Belle of the Ball really has to stand out like far and away.
And it
from
does-
the other
and
ones.
it's your rating, so you have to define this, Mark
Yeah,
Jr.
so-
This is
so-
Mine's the
way I
Cazador-
think about it-
Cazadore.
when I look at the Belle of the Ball, right? The Belle of the Ball to me is not only the best one, but it has to stand out from the other ones, right? And although the Noe is my favorite, the Cazadore that he's saying is awesome.
I love it.
The Belancre that
Bella-
you love is awesome. There's just a lot of really good sizes in that line. So that's a little muddier for me, personally.
Right.
I don't know.
Will, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
We were unable to
yeah.
get Skip on.
Oh, that sucks.
A couple that
He was calling.
The Cazadores in that one, but the Noellas would be a close second. But like Mark Jr. made a great point. If we put that extra criteria in there,
Right.
it's
It
know,
muddies
it's
it.
close.
Muddies the water just a little bit.
It muddies the water.
the
But,
other
you know,
the previous 4 I thought had a clear-cut winner.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the Belle of the Ball.
Yeah.
So, all right. What's our next one?
What else?
That's
we got?
it. I have one that I'd like to see what you guys think, right?
Okay.
How about the LGs?
The LGs, the new ones or the old ones?
I know. You
know what I mean?
LG's have been around for a long time.
Well,
And we've had
I
the
still have a
opportunity-
favorite no matter what.
Which one's that one?
The Americano.
Americano.
Which one is that?
The Corona Gorda.
I love the Lancero.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the
The
Lancero.
Lancero was pretty good.
I really enjoyed that.
Because the Lancero just kind of beats out the Chisel. I don't know why.
The Chisel was okay. The other one, what was that one? And there was an hexagon box. Was that the Americano that we were smoking out of that one? That thing was absolutely.
The ones that I had, right?
Yeah, that was just nothing close to that. No LG come close to that at all.
Sam Zimmerman in the chat brought up an interesting one. What about the Monster series?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the Frank, the original, the first one.
See, that's
by
the
far.
one I haven't had, so it's tough
That
to
the
say.
Frank was mine.
but is that a Belle of the Ball?
Yes,
Because the blends are different.
good point. I see what you're saying. I know where you're going with that. Yeah, yeah.
Radically different. Radically.
Right, radically.
Splitting hairs,
good point.
Splitting hairs.
No.
No,
Because
you're really not, because he's right.
He's
It
not.
is
He's
different,
right
yeah.
what he's saying. And the other one, I'm okay. Calling me a shill. The Bellicoso in the Debonair.
I haven't smoked that yet. I have it in my box right here.
I just love the. I mean, that's to me, that's the Belle of the Ball in that blend.
What about
It is, but I
what,
haven't smoked the Solomon or the first degree.
what
Okay.
about Davidoff Millennium Blend?
Petit Corona.
I like the Robusto.
I like
like
the
the
Lancero.
I never, something. So I stand corrected. I never did the Lancero.
I don't think I've ever done the Petite Corona. Hey, if listeners want to send us, no, I'm just kidding. That's a tough one. It is a tough one to find a Belle of the Ball. You get a line that's got some price tag to it and has a lot of different options and sizes. It's hard to go through and try all the different sizes because it's an investment.
I think here's one that we would all agree on, or come close to agreeing on. How about the Padron 1964?
64. Mine's gonna. There's only one that just jumps out to me. The Pyramid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pyramid hands down.
Yeah.
Hands
Okay.
down. And that's
Yeah.
what I've smoked a ton of, too.
I'll deviate.
What?
I like the Exclusivo.
Okay.
Okay, I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. That's the highest rated 64.
What about the
And
1920?
notice the one. Excuse me, the one that flies under the radar, and you're gonna laugh at me. The Superior. Decent little smoke, but it's not the Belle of the Ball.
What about the 1926?
The 9.
I go to 6.
35.
What's the torpedo one? The natural.
9, I think, right?
No.
No,
Nine's
nine is
no.
like a
No.
Fat Robusto.
1926 is it's
number
number 2.
Two. It's a 2. I like that in the natural.
But you know something?
I don't know. I had the Robusto size. It's tougher.
No,
than
I'm going to go
26.
back. We're going to change everything when you say 26. The 44 natural.
I don't get that smoke for some
No,
reason.
I
don't
do.
know why.
I forgot about that one. I don't know how I could. You know, I love the 44 natural. And how's this? Okay, this is not. And you go in the Undercrown. Which one? That's
That Corona Viva.
Corona Viva.
I think
all the
I'm
way.
gonna go and say this. I think that's the best cigar they make. Period, hands down.
Really?
Yep.
Above the
it's-
Unico series? Of all the special, even
I
the Dirty
just
Rat?
think.
Really?
I just think it. I don't know what it is. It's the consistency of that blend is just phenomenal. I really do. I love it. I just something to me. Just I can't.
But what if you had to pick an Unico series? So L40, the Flying Pigs, the Feral Flying Pigs, the Dirty Rat, Ratzilla.
You know, I'll go UF13 now has probably gone ahead of the Dirty Rat in my book.
The UF13 Darks, those are good, huh? I bought a ton
I
of those.
really enjoy that cigar.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that again, I guess like I said, it's different strokes, different folks. That's what makes it. And how about this? The belle of the ball when it comes to Skip Martin stuff.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jay's the Belle of the Ball.
I'll tell you what, it had to be the one you gave me tonight. It's Coop, fucking believable.
That
Is
was
that-
my
no, so-
second behind the Blockhead, which is the box.
The Blockhead's even better.
That was my opinion. I like the Blockhead better.
So
But
I
it was
don't.
very
So
close.
for what?
I mean, it's splitting hairs.
All right. From what I smoked, that thing is hands. It's just such a unique blend. Unbelievable. That was
Thank you.
it's what's that?
Oh,
Hello.
Skip, you
Yes.
there?
yeah. I said thank you.
Oh, Skip.
hey, Skip.
Dude.
Welcome to the Stogie Geek Show.
Oh, dude.
Hey,
Oh.
Skip.
We were just doing what we call the belle of the ball, or the best of what we thought of a particular blend that we were smoking from anything from Liger to Padron or whatever. And Coop was kind enough to send me up that Accutane that it was I tell you something, unbelievable. That's the best I smoked of your blends.
Hey,
Hands down.
hey, Skip.
Hands down.
Hey, Skip. Skip, this is Paul. Skip, this is Paul. Could you describe the cigar that Stogie Santa was smoking?
So it was the Aquitaine Mode 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's a 5x50 Perfecto in the Aquitaine blend, which is basically the same as the Cro-Magnon blend, except instead of using the U.S. Connecticut broadleaf, we use a Lajero priming of Ecuador Habano.
Right.
And it's in that size. I like the changes that happen in the Perfecto. So.
now, is that tweaked just a little bit different than the other Accutanes, Skip? It just
No, actually, one of the blending philosophies that we have is we set the blend at a certain size, and then we keep the ratios the same in every vitola. So every vitola actually smokes a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Which is one of the great things about. To me, it makes it more interesting. You know, if you like a Padron 1964, they do a great job of making the Corona have the same flavor profile as the 6x60, which is very, very hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, if you smoke, you know, for example, the little Intemperance Intrigue, which is my favorite cigar that we make, it smokes completely different than the 5x56 out of Paraca, even though it's the exact same ratios. So if you like what we do, instead of having, you know, 4 brands with the same profile across 4 brands, you actually get, you know, 28 different cigars. So, you know, you can change it up.
Mm.
It's interesting you say that because Stogie Santa and I were just talking this week. Mr. J's went through the anthropologies in the Cro-Magnon.
We blew them out. Blew them out.
They were here and gone, right? And I thought that was really fantastic in the Cro-Magnon. And then, to me, the Knuckle Dragger and the Aquitaine was just another really excellent cigar. So
Right. So if you're a big fan of broadleaf, which you guys were talking about, the Liga and Drew a state. If you're a big fan of broadleaf, in the smaller ring gauge, especially with the priming we use for broadleaf, you get a lot of broadleaf flavor. For me, in the Cro-Magnon, I like the bigger sizes, like the cranium or the knuckle dragger. But in the Aquitaine, I like the smaller sizes because of the.
Interesting.
I like more of that Vano wrapper.
Interesting.
It really is. It's just that up here, it's Skip. I'm just so happy I brought this into the shop. It's just done well. It's been a great response. It's just something really unique. I'm welcome. I mean, no one works harder than you do. I follow you on Facebook, and I'm telling you, great big man crush. You've done a great job. I'm sorry.
Romance.
That's it. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
Skip, be careful at IPCPR that Stogie doesn't give you a hug and give you a little something extra.
Hey, I got Hug Life tatted on my chest.
It's a shame we don't have video for you, Skip. Skip. So the cigar that the Stogie was smoking, is that a limited release? The Mode 5, is that what you called it?
Well, the size started out. The size started out back in when we very first started making the Aquitaines, but it was really just an event size. What happens is I make cigars in sizes for me to hand to people because they've never had them before, so they're not even really production cigars. They're just, I like to have stuff to give people that no one's ever had before, particularly people who smoke a lot of our cigars. But what happens is, pretty quickly, some retailer or someone I give it to says, man, that's my favorite, like the Blockhead. We just started doing the box press cranium because Esteban got a new box press that he wanted to try. So because of the way it's produced, we used the largest version of the Cro-Magnon. So then I started handing those to people, and then a couple of retailers said, hey, can we start carrying these? The Mode 5, in this case, instead of making it store exclusive because it's so good, we just added a size to the line. So I've got probably, if you guys follow on Instagram, I've probably got about 500 boxes of Aquitaine Mode 5 and about 385 boxes of Cro-Magnon Mode 5 shipping next week.
Oh,
so,
I got to call up, man.
Yeah, so they'll be hitting the stores pretty quick.
You'll be hitting Stogie Santa's personal collection.
I'm bringing them in. I'm bringing them into the store.
Bringing them right into your humidor.
Right into the store. This is.
It's not often Stogie Santa's impressed that much with a cigar.
Oh, it's just. Well,
the problem is if you order them now, they're probably about 1,500 boxes behind. So, because of the way we age the cigars, the Aquitaine and Cro-Magnon are a minimum of 4 months. So we just didn't anticipate the demand. We started making these back in October, and just put them in our normal line, assuming they would sell about as much as the knuckle dragger. And every single week or 2 weeks, when a new amount of production comes ready to sell, I smoke a couple, make sure that they meet our requirements, and then we box them up and ship them. But they're we're filling orders from IPCPR still, so it's it's pretty far behind.
That's okay. I'll join the list. No problem. I'll call tomorrow.
Will, did you have any other questions for Skip?
Yes, I know, Skip. One thing I was pretty excited about was the Panatella getting some love. So you got a new Panatella sampler coming out, correct?
Yeah, so that's one of those cigars that we talked about this last week when a lot of bloggers were here. It's kind of the same as the Candela, and one of the things, as a cigar smoker, as a big cigar fan, smoking cigars for 20 plus years, I've seen things that have been a fan of, and now that we have the factory, I've always, we always work towards making the best in class of something. So I appreciate the history of the Candela. So last year when we had the opportunity to start working on a Candela, we said, hey, can we make a Candela that competes with every other Candela on the market? That when people look at Candelas, will they say, one of the top 5 Candelas is the Cro-Magnon Candela. And, we did the same thing with Neanderthal. I'm a big fan of super strong cigars. and I worked for 2-3 years to make a really strong cigar that would compete with, like La Flor Double Ajero, Chisels, or the Antonio Grand Consul, the really, really strong cigars that I've always liked. And with the Neanderthal, we finally found something that's super strong, but also very, very good. It's really the strength that I wanted to get with Cro-Magnon, but never could. And then the Panatella is now that I'm more into the smaller ring gauge cigars, I wanted to explore, could we make Panatella in our blends that would compete with, kind of the famous Panatellas that have been out there. So it'll come out first in a sampler the way that the Perfectos did. And there's a retailer that's going to have those, which we haven't announced yet. And then once the samplers are gone, then 2 of the 4 Panatellas will be an exclusive to that store. And then the other Panatellas will decide at that point whether we'll release those to other stores or not.
Now, you mentioned the Neanderthal. Can you tell us a little more about that and when we can expect to see it?
Yeah, so we're still working on it. It's a very complicated cigar to make. It's a complicated size, shape. It's also complicated in the sense that the blend is very complicated. There's 8 filler components, which is a lot to put into a cigar. So we're only releasing it in one size. But the whole time that we've been making cigars, I've been looking to make a strong cigar. And, the way I approached that as a novice was, let's put more Ligero, and that doesn't really work out, believe it or not. So I guess I was explaining this to a guy, a tobacco guy here in Nicaragua, and he said, different tobaccos have different nicotine contents. And so I started exploring kind of the percentages, because we don't do testing on tobacco per se yet. So I was interested to find out. Obviously, a Ligero has more nicotine than, say, a Viso, but I didn't realize that it actually had different nicotine levels in different types of tobacco. So he introduced me to a type of tobacco which they call a Pennsylvania Double Ligero. Their technical name for it is this Green River Valley Sucker 1, and it's a regrowth leaf from the Pennsylvania broadleaf. And it actually, if a normal, say, Esteli Ligero has 5 to 6% nicotine, this leaf has somewhere between 9 and 13% nicotine.
Wow.
So when we started blending with this leaf, we actually were able to increase the strength. We never had a problem getting body. Body comes from the flavor, the complexity, but the strength, it's like trying to make a stronger or a more spicy thing by putting more jalapenos. It still only has so much capsaicin, right? So once we found this tobacco and we learned how to blend with it, we were able to kind of put this the Neanderthal together. It has Condega, Jalapa, Esteli, Pueblo Nuevo, a Ligero from the Lower region in Dominican. It has what else does it have? It has everything in the kitchen sink, but it's a really, really, really good cigar. And we're going to sell it at IPCPR, but when it actually hits shelves, will probably be a couple months after that. The wrapper is San Andreas, and the binder is Connecticut broadleaf.
Oh wow,
That's interesting.
That's an interesting mixture. That's awesome.
So it's like, so you're saying 8
and
fillers,
it's
there's
very
10
expensive
tobaccos.
to make too.
There's 10 tobaccos in that
What's
thing,
that?
then. If there's 8 fillers, you have 10 tobaccos going on there.
Yeah, it had to do with balancing out the flavor and aromas that come from the Pennsylvania. While it has a lot of strength, it's not necessarily pleasant to smell. So we had to figure out how to balance out the flavor and the aroma, but keep the nicotine. So it's an amazing cigar. And at the end of the day, what I want is when people smoke it, to say a guy who walks in and says, "Give me the strongest thing," and every strong cigar he smokes, he says, "Man, this is nothing. This is nothing." I want to give him this cigar and say, "Okay, let me tell me what you think about that." When we were blending, when we blend, we make single component fumas, 4x46s that were 100% this Pennsylvania Double Ligero. And Carlos Macho's son from La Zona came over, and he's one of these guys that inhales when he smokes cigars. He inhales a little bit. So I opened a bottle of, really rare Cuban rum, and we sat down, and I said, hey, I got this new leaf to show you. And he thought it was 2 leaves stuck together because it's so thick, and I was trying to explain to him that it's just a really thick leaf. And so we gave him one of these fumas, and he started smoking. He goes, oh, this is good. It's got a nice flavor. The aroma's kind of off. He says, but it's not that strong. And then hand to God, when he stood up, he like almost fell over. He had such a nicotine rush. And this is a guy that smokes 15 cigars a day, so it's definitely nothing to fuck with.
Not to be fucked
but
with.
it's been interesting. I mean, that's the great thing about having the factory is, you can. It's like a laboratory. At the same time, I'm learning. I mean, my partner here knows as much about tobacco as anybody I know, but at the same time I'm learning, I'm introducing kind of the wild-eyed kind of wish list of a long-time consumer into the the knowledge base that we have here. So it's been real interesting. That's why I've been here every day for. I think I've been outside of Nicaragua about 42 days in the last year and 5 months.
Unbelievable.
So.
Wow. Well, Skip, thank you very much for the update. We appreciate you coming on the show again and give us an update. And Stogie Santa was.
I'll see you.
I'll
see you in Vegas, Skip. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's really the reason I came on was just to say hi to Stogie Santa and tell him thanks for smoking the cigar.
Oh no, thank you. I mean, it really, and I'm behind you 100%. And like I said, we're doing well at the store, and the continued growth, Skip. We're behind you 100%. That's for sure.
Hey, Skip. For this segment, we're talking about the Belle of the Ball, which is the size of a particular blend that we like the best. And I'm not sure how much of an Opus smoker you are. We're talking about really strong cigars. What's your favorite Opus X size cigar to smoke?
I really want to smoke the Pussy Juice, but having never smoked the Pussy Juice, I like the Triple X. That's always been the one that I. But honestly, there's one called, I think, the Magnum O. It's like a nub size.
Yeah, I've had the Magnum O before. That's awesome. It's awesome.
I only smoked it once, but I really, really liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I agree. My Belle of the Ball for Opus is Love Affair. Because I have a love affair with Love Affair for whatever reason.
I'm with him.
You like the Triple X?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I'm with him.
You like the Triple X movies and the Triple X Love
Affair.
Opus X?
Obviously.
Love Affair.
What you Love Affair?
Yeah.
Oh, backing me up, Stogie Santa. Will Cooper, what about you?
Oh, the Triple X.
Wow.
So that's all right.
Interesting.
I liked it a lot.
I'm surprised that you would even like Opus X, Will.
You guys have got me out of my shell.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we're all
you
about.
guys have got me out of my shell.
No problem. We have poisoned your mind.
Yep.
Hey, Will, why don't you update us on contests really quick?
What the fuck did I do that for?
Okay. So first.
What did you do? Bang your wrist on the table? Why would you do that? Oh, get them in some more scotch.
So
There's
we
a
had
little bit left
a
in that
contest
bottle there.
running for Espinosa cigars. And we had Eric Espinosa on about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he graciously gave us a 5-pack. And the winner of that contest, we got a nice turnout. The contests have really been kicking in right now. People had to guess, or not guess, they had to tell me what was the Espinosa cigar that I had on the Cigar of the Year countdown. The answer was the 601 La Bamba Maduro Warhead by Espinosa Cigars. The winner at random was number 11. His name is Texacan 8. So I'll be getting his contact information. You're going to get a 5-pack of Espinosa Habanos, which I think some of us smoked a few weeks ago on the show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was the contest we're going to do for that. I am going to probably announce another contest next week. I'm going to kind of hold that one back for next week, but we'll have a new contest next week on that.
Well, next week we're not broadcasting.
No, 2 weeks. Yes,
2
on
weeks.
the 1st, right. We have
We're
no
off
show
next
next
week.
week for
Yep.
folks. Do we want to talk about the show we have for May 1st? Because that's kind of a special show.
So May 1st. So May we've got we're doing 4 shows in May. and I'm actually not traveling in May. Go figure. Which is awesome. We'll be doing 4 shows in June as well. So we've got a fantastic lineup coming up in May. Enrique Sanchez on May 1st. It's a 1502 cigars, and there's an event associated with it. So the first 20 people will receive a free cigar if you come here to the studio and watch the show live, which is really cool. And we've smoked a lot of the 1502 cigars that were kindly gifted to us and really liked them. So I'm really excited for the May 1st episode. On May 8th, we have Anwar El Bustani from El Cedro Cigars. Did I say that right, Will?
Yeah, and he's got a real interesting story. He's got a military background, which is why I thought he'd be a real good fit for this show for some of the stuff we've done. Mm-hmm. And his cigar is very good. We'll be smoking his Corona that night.
And on May 15th, we have Mr. Phil Zangi from Debonair Cigars, who'll be here in the freaking studio.
And we're going to be smoking some of his fucking Maduros.
Oh, and we're going to smoke his Maduro. I'm really excited about that.
Oh, God.
I love the Debonair cigars.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I got the Toro in my box that I didn't get to this week, but I'm going to smoke that bad boy tomorrow because they're so good. Stogie Santa's drinking right from the bottle.
Hey, Skip, what was that? I didn't know if you said something, Skip.
No, I was saying Phil Zangi is probably one of the most interesting people I've ever met in the cigar business.
Oh, yeah.
Like 10 years ago, I was standing outside of the JW Marriott in Panama City in Panama. And this guy comes up and he basically starts giving me the once over, like asking me, what do I know about cigars? Why am I out here smoking? And it was Phil Zangi, but Phil's got some crazy stories.
Oh, to say the least.
Yeah, and he's doing great stuff with Debonair. He really is.
Yeah, it's very impressive. He's settled down a lot.
To say the least.
But he knows a lot about boxing, too. You got to ask him
about
boxing.
Oh, yeah. He was
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Phil's like the world's most interesting man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll let you know about it, too.
Historian, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll ask him that when he comes here.
Yeah, he has his own boxing down right in the DR itself, and it's an interesting story, to say the least. I hope Skip.
Phil's one of those guys that knows. Like, if you ever heard a rumor about something 20 years ago in the cigar business, like, you know, how Jesus Fuego started with Rocky, or this person who did this, or who really did that, Phil always knows the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
He's like an unofficial encyclopedia of what
cigar
really happened.
History. Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Skip, thank you very much for joining
us. God bless. Take care, Skip.
Thank you, Skip.
Thanks to our special
thanks.
guest on this episode, Mr. Alex Goldman from Royal Gold Cigars. And don't forget to join the CRA and protect our rights as cigar smokers. And we'll see everyone on the next episode of the Stogie Geek Show. Just say good night there.